Today marks exactly 1 year since President Uhuru Kenyatta called on anti-graft agencies to conclude investigations and charge persons involved in the KEMSA scandal that led to the misuse of 7.6 billion Kenya shillings of public resources. Now, different parliamentary committees have been investigating that same scandal, with at least one report tabled in Parliament. Still, nobody has been charged, even as the chorus for accountability appears to have faded as the COVID-19 pandemic still rages. Sam Gituku reports.
However, given the compelling public interest on the matter, the relevant agencies should expedite their ongoing investigations and conclude the same within 21 days.
The president made the announcement following continuous public outcry over the use of 7.6 billion shillings in procurement of materials to deal with COVID-19 pandemic. 3 weeks later, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission submitted a file to the DPP recommending prosecution of 6 senior KEMSA officials. The file also noted that further investigations were going on, scrutinizing payments made and the beneficiaries of the millions of shillings. Upon scrutiny, Director of Public Prosecutions Nuruddin Haji returned the files to EACC, asking for further investigations. He released a statement indicating, in order to fast-track the process and in the spirit of teamwork, the prosecution team has been instructed to hold joint meetings with the EACC investigators so as to adequately address the identified gaps on sufficiency of evidence in accordance with the Constitution and other laws. That was 2nd of October 2020. Nothing has been heard since that day, with no clarity from both EACC and DPP's office on the status of investigations.
Let us be the title that each one of you hold.
During this time, at least 3 parliamentary committees have been probing the matters at KEMSA in sessions that have not been devoid of drama and high emotions.
What is your interest? Were you bribed?
Who is guilty? Because at the end of the day, who are you saying is guilty?
And that's what happens among friends. I thought you were a Somali. You do it without any...
On the 30th of September that year, Auditor General Nancy Gathungu had heeded Parliament's request, submitting a special audit report on how KEMSA used COVID-19 funds. Hers was a damning report faulting KEMSA for flouting public procurement laws and arrived at the conclusion that Kenyans had not gotten value for their money. According to the report, 97% of stock still lay in KEMSA warehouses, despite having been procured in the excuse of emergency. 4.7 billion shillings had already been paid out, while other supplying firms were waiting for their turn. It's been 1 year since the president's call.
I'm never really driven so fast by any proclamation, political proclamation by the president or anybody else, because we know that this 21 days is normally just a song. One of the recommendations that we gave is an investigation and possible prosecution of the board, of the CEO, and even some other staff of KEMSA. It is upon now the executive to ensure that they follow through and they implement what the Senate recommended.
Internal meeting.
National Assembly Public Investments Committee Chair Abdul Somad Sharif says he'll be tabling his report as soon as the House resumes from recess next month. Another set of recommendations on the way as state agencies remain mum on progress of current investigations. Sam Gituku, Citizen TV, Nairobi.